Hey, if you're moving to Dubai, or if you are living in Dubai already and you just moved here and you haven't done this, I'm really going to recommend that you do. And that is to really connect and build a community around you, a strong community around you. It's really, really important in case of emergency, as well as your mental health, even for your physical health, because go out and exercise with different people, run on the beach, go to Pilates classes, this kind of stuff. For your mental health, your emotional health, your physical, even your financial health. Surrounding yourself with the right people can boost your financial health, but it can also help you in a situation when you're in some kind of crunch. Because when you're living in your own country, like where you were born or where you lived the majority of your life, mostly likely you're going to have family around you, you're going to have friends around you. But sometimes when you move abroad and you've made a bold decision to leave your home country to go abroad, sometimes it can cause friction in your family. I don't know if that's happened to other people. It can cause friction in your family and your friend group. And so when you feel like you need help, they can turn to you and say, well, no one told you to go in the first place. Who told you to get up and leave? Who told you to pack up all your stuff and go to a different country? That kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? I moved to Ghana. I packed up and moved to Ghana years back after living in the UK for the majority of my life. I was like, I don't want to live here anymore. I made a decision, and within 3 months, I was gone. I moved to Ghana. I stayed in Ghana for a few years and realised that Ghana wasn't for me in terms of long-term stay. I like going back there, on vacation. I haven't been back there since 2023. But in terms of going to Ghana, vacation is the thing for me, but I wouldn't live there long-term. Again, maybe when I'm really old, but I don't know. But for now, I wouldn't. So came to Dubai, and one of the things that's missing for me is community. It's not because it's not because there is a lack of community, because there actually is. You have to seek it, and you have to deliberately connect with people. And sometimes when you're out and about, you can just meet people. Like the other day, I'm going to tell you that I'm an introverted person. I'm not an extrovert. I'm not the kind of person that will just go, hi, what's your name? I'm not like that. I'm very much to myself. But on this particular day, I was sitting at a restaurant, and there was a lady sitting there, and every person that walked past, she was from the Philippines, every person that walked past, she was like, hi, hi, hi. And then she was mentioning people's names and saying, oh yeah, she's on her way. And so I was shocked. And so I said to her, I kind of looked over at her, and she looked back at me and smiled. And I smiled back. And then she sort of just looked back and just said, hi. And I said, hi. And I said, what? I said, I didn't know how to put it, but I was like, what do you do? That was just the first thing that came out of my mouth. And she was like, oh, is it because I'm talking to everybody? And I said, yeah. She said she's a restaurant manager. And I was like, oh, okay. And then from there, she said, but she has her own business. And when she said she has her own business, I was like, oh, what kind of business? And she said she has an online business. I said, okay. And then we started to kind of moved over, gravitated towards each other. And then she was like, oh, she runs an e-commerce business. And I was like, God, that's cool. And I told her, I said, I write content. I'm a digital product seller, and I'm also a software developer. And I told her that I'm founder of 2 companies. One is just pretty much just starting out. It's nowhere near where it needs to be. And the other one is something that I've been running since, I was in the UK, and just transferred it over to Dubai. And we ended up talking, and I've, had a lot of conversations with her and connection, and we, built connection together and everything. But I'm generally someone that don't do that, and I've only been to one networking event, and that was a lady called Lamade Elizabeth. She's a well-known YouTuber. She had an event, and I went to that. Other than that, I've not been to any other networking events since 2023, but I haven't been full-time in Dubai since 2023. I've travelled, I've left, went to Malaysia, I went to Florida. I went to Florida twice since I've been in Dubai, I think. No, I've been to Florida once, and then Malaysia twice since I've been in Dubai. So I haven't been in Dubai full time since 2023. I've been back and forth, but community is so important. Community has so many benefits, whether it be emotional, mental, even financial, in terms of connecting with the right people, getting the right plugs, being around people that have, high net worth individuals and high net worth companies, or people that own high net worth companies. It's really, really important. But for me, it's harder because I'm an introvert. But I feel like I need to take my own advice and actually embody that person who is not an introvert, and just basically be that Sasha Fierce. I don't, if you know, you know. Basically, create an alter ego that you turn on, you switch on whenever you go to events or whenever you go outside. Become confident in your speech, in your demeanor, in how you carry yourself, in how you dress, everything. But then behind closed doors, you might not necessarily be that. But it's necessary for you to be that in Dubai. You know, if you really want to make it in Dubai, you cannot be a wallflower. You have to get yourself out there and put yourself out there. Dubai pushes you. It pushes you. And if you're coming to Dubai to work a job, and you're going to get a high salary, and they give you a house and all of that kind of stuff, then you're probably going to live a relatively soft life. But you're going to work quite a lot for that soft life after work. That's the reality of it. If you're coming here and you're building a business, you're going to have to work your ass off. You really, it is what it is. It is what it is. You know, it's a place that rewards you based on how you interact with it. It's a city that rewards you based on how you interact with it. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So if you are lazy, you don't really want to get out there and all of that, that's the results you're going to get. But if you're willing to put yourself out there, you're going to get more. You know, for me, I've been a bit introverted since being in Dubai, and I've run majority of my business online. So I haven't really put myself out there with my face in terms of being out there physically. And I've said to myself that with my new business, Nadira Tech, it's a tech company, I'm not going to be a wallflower. I can't. I have to be out there. I have to be at all the events. I have to show my face. I have to be, boldly promoting my business. But with my other business, which is an online company where I write content for brands and stuff like that, and my digital product business, which is connected to my personal brand. It's funny actually. It's almost like I'm running 3 businesses, because I've got my digital product business, which is the company that I use to sell. It's not really a separate company. It's underneath the company that I own. But one of the things that I do is to sell digital products, and that's under my personal brand. And then I have my business where I write content for clients, and that's my main sort of thing. And then I have Nadira Tech, which is a new business, which is going to be software development, AI consultancy, and a few other things relating to tech. But yeah, you need to build community. You need to connect with community. You need to put yourself out there. You need to be almost fearless with your networking. But at the same time, you need to be careful, because I don't really want to talk about it online, but there are certain situations that you do not want to find yourself in. So you've got to be really mindful of the kind of circles you find yourself in, and you have to be really careful of certain types of people, because there's certain types of people that masquerade like they are that they've made it, basically, that they're on top. And those are the kind of people you need to steer clear of, because those are the kind of people that every single weekend they're out in the club. Every single weekend they're popping champagne. Every single weekend they're saying, let's go here, let's go there, let's go. That's not the kind of networking that I'm talking about here. I'm talking about people that are looking to just elevate and move on to the next level. Not to say that you shouldn't enjoy yourself, but it shouldn't be all the time. There's a time and place for everything. That's what I mean. Anyway, this video, I didn't mean for it to be that long, but that's all. The message of this video really is, if you are moving to Dubai, if you are living in Dubai, and you haven't done this yet, then you want to start building community. I'm actually really looking to do something myself, like my own community, especially for digital business owners, specifically for black women that are digital business owners out here in Dubai. All right, bye.